Major Colvin misled his officers. They thought that his initiative was a tactical deployment to entrap narcotics traffickers. There was no mention whatsoever of the initiative to any superior officer.
And for 5 weeks, all evidence of what he was doing managed to elude the entire command staff? You kidding, Commissioner?
I take full responsibility. And indeed, after I first learned of the matter, I informed the mayor, and together we moved immediately to relieve Major Colvin of his command.
I'm under the impression that this administration gave serious consideration to proceeding with Colvin's initiative.
No, sir.
Major Colvin informed you of his effort at a ComStat meeting more than a week ago. His free zone stayed for 6 days after that.
That's my responsibility, Councilman. We needed the time to conclude an ongoing investigation by the Major Crimes Unit, a wiretap case that would have been disrupted had we moved immediately.
Correct. Mayor Royce was aware of the pending case and allowed us to delay our response accordingly. But the mayor was unequivocal in his opposition to what Major Colvin did.
What we have here, I'm afraid, is nothing more complicated than a solitary police commander who, under great pressure, proved to be amoral, incompetent, and unfit for command.
No. It's about more than that. This is more important than who knew what when, or who falls on his sword, or whether somebody can use this disaster to make a political point or two.
Mr. Chairman.
We can forgive Major Colvin, who out of his frustration and despair found himself condoning something which can't possibly be condoned. We can do that much. But gentlemen, what we can't forgive, what I can't forgive, ever, is how we, you, me, this administration, all of us, how we turned away from those streets in West Baltimore. The poor, the sick, the swollen underclass of our city trapped in the wreckage of neighborhoods which were once so prized, communities which we failed to defend, which we have surrendered to the horrors of the drug trade. And if this disaster demands anything of us as a city, it demands that we say enough. Enough to the despair which makes policemen even think about surrender. Enough to the fact that these neighborhoods are not saved or are beyond the saving. Enough to this administration's indecisiveness and lethargy. To the garbage which goes uncollected. The lots and row houses which stay vacant. The addicts who go untreated. The working men and women who every day are denied a chance at economic freedom. Enough to the crime which every day chokes more and more of the life from our city. And the thing of it is, if we don't take responsibility and step up, not just for the mistakes and the miscues, but for whether or not we're going to win this battle for our streets, if that doesn't happen, we're going to lose these neighborhoods and ultimately this city forever. If we don't have the courage and the conviction to fight this war the way it should be fought, the way it needs to be fought, using every weapon that we can possibly muster, if that doesn't happen, well, then we're staring at defeat. And that defeat should not and cannot and will not be forgiven.